Hello and welcome back. So I was having a conversation recently with someone who asked me, Hayley, what do I do with this fear? I've noticed that this fear is coming up and there's something wrong with me. I feel like I don't know what to do with it. And I need to work through it and I need to do some inner work. And, on one hand, it's kind of true, like I need to pay attention to it. But on the other hand, I feel like this is a deeper issue for me and I really need to fix it. And we had this really interesting conversation because I told her that what she was doing was actually ignoring her fear. What she was doing was actually not paying attention to what was going to help her move forward. So you can use fear as one of two things. You can use it as a way of stopping yourself or halting yourself, or you can use it as a signpost to move forward. Now, here's what I would suggest that you do with fear in order to take back your power. Because sometimes if you find yourself using it as a way to stop yourself, you've given the power away to whatever it is that you're fearing, instead of looking at what you can actually do with it and acting in the presence of that fear. There's something that's really important to know here, and that is that fear, it's never not there. Fearlessness is not being without fear. It's being present with fear and still moving forward while you're like it's sitting with it. I really want you to understand that fearlessness is not about never experiencing fear. In fact, the people who are fearless never feel fearless when they're moving forward and doing something really brave. They don't feel brave. They recognize that the fear is there and they act in spite of it anyway. So here's what you can do with it. Long ago, women especially were highly intuitive, and they would receive intuitive hits about what was coming. They'd get a sense or a feeling like there was going to be a hard winter, or something was a brew, or change was coming. And I see this happen so often with really high-performing people who are just tapped in, men and women, who are very intuitive, and they're like, change is coming, something's happening, I'm feeling this worry, I'm feeling this fear, and I just can't shake it. And what they do is one of two things. They either go, you know what, there's something wrong with me, I need to get over this and just push forward. But what I would suggest instead is that you actually pay attention to what's coming up. And rather than treating it like there's something wrong with you, acknowledge it and honor it and pay attention to it as if it was actually an intuitive hit. And what you can do with that is then face it and ask it, what is this? What's going on for me here? What's coming up? What's present? And let's say I have a fear that there's going to be some financial difficulties coming up, or I have a fear that something is going to change and it's going to require a little bit more of my energy. Rather than going, oh, that feels icky, that's uncomfortable, I don't know what to do with that, I'm just going to put it to the side and do some inner work and journal around getting rid of it and clearing it. If you were to pay attention to that and sit with it for a second, it's here to show you something. There might be some space in your life where you can go, I'm actually not prepared for if something like that should happen. What if I was to actually take harvest and go, how can I prepare for this winter season? Or how can I prepare for the change? Or how can I ensure that I'm in the power seat here because it's my life? So paying attention to your fear instead of pushing it away and ignoring it and trying to get rid of it and doing the work around removing it, the reason why you see, or you might have experienced this yourself, where you've done so much work and you've done all the inner work and you've journaled and you've worked through it and you've done your processing and all that and still nothing changes, is because actually your fear is not a bad thing, it's an intuitive hit. And if you don't deal with it, that fear, whatever you're fearing, will become a self-fulfilling prophecy. So pay attention to it, listen to it, do something with it, let it move you, let it be a signpost to go and move forward and take action and assess the risk and prepare for that, instead of putting it aside and hoping that it goes away. So I hope this helps you today look at your fear in a different way. If you like this video, share it along with your friends and leave me a comment and tell me what was your biggest insight. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you next week. Bye! What to do with my fear?